Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Grow Through It podcast. My name is Julia, and today I'm going to share how I prepare for the new year and what I do at the end of each year. I used to be the type of person to make a New Year's resolution each year, and we all know how that goes. No one ever sticks to them. I think the reason for that is it's just a thought. There is no actual plan for how you are going to achieve this, nothing to actually track it, and not much thought into why you want to do it. You need to put real thought into your goals and make an action plan if you want to actually stick with it and achieve it. How many resolutions have you come up with? And how many have you actually stuck to? You can totally make goals for this year, and you absolutely should. We just have to put a little more effort into it. So, a few years ago, I started doing a couple things at the end of each year to make sure I was actually reflecting on the past year and thinking about what I wanted to change for the following year. I have a journal, and I use the same journal each year and only use it for this specific activity. I have specific journal prompts I use, and as the years have gone on, I have changed a couple of them if I found they weren't really relevant. So I encourage you to try this for yourself. It's a great way to reflect, find the positives in the last year, and see what you want to change for the year ahead. The first prompt I use is, "What have I learned this year?" And I just write whatever comes to mind. These could be big lessons or small lessons. Maybe I learned something new about myself. I learned how to do something new. Or I learned an actual lesson that I will take with me from now on. I'm going to do a whole episode on what I learned in 2024 and all the highs and lows, so I won't share those with you now, but stay tuned for that. The next prompt I use is, "What do I want to do more of next year?" So this could be an activity I tried, like a workout class, an art class, maybe taking more photos, anything that has added value in my life and brings me happiness. I want to do more of those things the next year. This year, for example, I did a lot of spiritual things like going to the Women's Festival, going to more sound bowl sessions, getting Reiki done, and exploring new forms of healing. I definitely want to do more of that next year. It could also be things I wanted to do this year that I didn't get to. In 2024, I planned on doing a lot of hiking and snowboarding, but due to my injuries, I was not able to do that. I know next year I want to do more of that, and hopefully I am able to. The next question I answer is, what do I want to do less of next year? This could be things like using my phone less overthinking, less alcohol, less negative self-talk. These are things I have added before. For each of these things, I also come up with how I am going to do less of them. So if I want to use my phone less, I'm going to think of ways to achieve this. Maybe I will put time limits on certain apps. Maybe I will schedule out time where I put my phone away. Maybe I will add into my night routine that I will not use my phone 1 hour before bed. It is really important to actually come up with strategies to stop these habits. Otherwise, again, they're just a thought and you will probably just forget about it. New this year, I want to also write down all my highs and lows from the year. I think it is important to not just talk about all the positives, but also talk about the things you struggled with too. This can help you see all that you went through and help you realize how strong you actually are and show you that you made it through. It can also help you see all the lessons you learned from those lows. What did they teach you? Maybe you are still going through some of them and haven't properly processed those emotions. It might help you understand that you need to deal with those emotions still and talk about it. Writing the positives of the year will help you be in a better place of gratitude for the year, and you can see all that went right. All the friendships you made, the progress you made, how you did things you didn't think you were capable of, the goals you achieved. This will help you feel much better about how the year went. Sometimes we have to really look at everything we did to see just how much we achieved. Writing the highs and lows may prompt you to think of more things you want to add to your list of things you want to do more of and less of. Add to the list if anything comes up. Also new this year, I'm going to make reminders in my phone every 3 months to look at what I've written and see if I'm doing the things I said I wanted to do. So looking at the list of things I want to do more of and the things I want to do less of and see how much I am actually doing. Another great activity I did last year for the first time and absolutely loved was making a bingo card for the year. I saw it on TikTok and loved the idea. I've been wanting to do more artistic things, so I actually drew mine out on paper and added little pictures. Like I've said before, I'm not super artistic, but I had so much fun making it. I drew out 25 boxes and wrote my goals for the year in each box. I decorated it and hung it on my wall above my desk so I could see it every day. I think that step was super important. If I just made it and then tucked it away somewhere, I definitely would have forgotten about it. But seeing it every day was a reminder of what I wanted to achieve. I will share a picture of it on my Instagram if you want a visual. If you don't want to draw yours out, I've seen many people make it on Canva or any website or app that you can create your own image and get it printed out. So, doing those journal prompts and answering what you want to do more of or less of will give you some ideas of what to put on your bingo card. You can be a bit more specific on your bingo card as well. For example, if one of the things I want to do more of this year are hikes, I may find specific hikes to put on my bingo card that are more challenging for me. I think doing both the journal prompts and the bingo card are really important because I think they go hand in hand. But just doing the journal prompts, again, you may forget about it, but having the bingo card on your wall will help you remember to do those things. Just doing the bingo card may be fine, but if you aren't thinking about how your last year went and how you want this next year to go, the things you put on may not be as motivating for you or beneficial. It's also important to have balance on your card. If you only choose things that are very challenging, it can be discouraging if you don't achieve them. Especially if they're ones that you can't guarantee you will do, like hitting a certain amount of followers on social media or making a certain amount of money. I do recommend adding those in, but also adding easier ones as well, like attending a class of some sort, reading a certain amount of books, or going somewhere specific. I also know many people do vision boards for their year, and I do think vision boards are great. I made one on my phone and it's currently my background on my laptop, and I love looking at it. However, I have found the bingo card to be a lot more effective for me personally. I really like having written goals on it instead of just pictures, and I liked the act of crossing it out when you've accomplished something. So let's go over my 2024 bingo card and talk about some of the things I accomplished and some of the things I didn't. Then I'll talk about some of the things I'm adding to my 2025 bingo card. So for 2024, I crossed off quite a bit, but there are also a few things I could not accomplish. Some were because of my injuries and some were not guaranteed, so it was a little harder to do. Some things I accomplished were do 1 month with no coffee, get a new tattoo, pay off half of my credit card, go to a boxing class, complete 75 hard, start a podcast, do 5 unassisted pull-ups, and read 12 books. Also, by the end of the year, I will have gone on 5 solo dates and filled in my free space, which I put as turn 28. These again were some of the easier ones to do, but I also accomplished more challenging ones like doing 75 hard and starting a podcast. Having this bingo card up in my room really motivated me to get it done. I also had Paul encouraging me to complete them too, since he could also see the card. Honestly, without the bingo card, I don't think I would have done a lot of those things. Some of the things I did not get to complete this year were travel to Mexico, do specific hikes, master 3 challenging yoga poses, go to a dance class, and I sort of completed a 5K race, but I don't know if I really count that one. I signed up to do a 5K this summer and was so excited for it, and then I hurt my knee right before. I still did the race, but had to walk it instead of run. I was really hoping to run the full 5K, but my injury didn't allow for that. We were also planning on traveling to Mexico, but decided last minute it may not be the best idea this year, and thank goodness we did that because a week before we were supposed to go is when my car accident happened, so I wouldn't have been able to go anyway, or if I did, I wouldn't be able to enjoy it as much. I also wanted to do specific hikes, but again, my knee injury happened and I couldn't descend down the mountain without being in excruciating pain. The yoga poses and dance class were also things I could not do due to my injuries. Then, of course, the accident happened, which prevented me further from doing these things. So most of the things I didn't accomplish were physical. Although I really wanted to accomplish these things, I know it was out of my control and I did everything I could to try. I went to physio for my knee and really tried to heal it, but didn't get to in time. So I'm giving myself grace. If I didn't accomplish things because I just didn't do it, that would be different. Next, let's talk about my 2025 bingo card. So some of the things I'm adding are the same ones I have in my 2024 one that I didn't accomplish or want to do again. So the ones I'm adding that I didn't do this year are do my Reiki level 3, finish my cookbook, go to a dance class, master 3 challenging yoga poses, and do a specific hike. I am also adding completing 75 hard again and my free space of turning 29 and reading a certain amount of books. However, this year I'm going to do 15 personal development books and 5 fiction books since I want to read more fiction books as well. I am also adding pay off the rest of my credit card. A couple of new ones I'm adding are releasing a new episode of the podcast every single week, promote to the next level in my business, and go to an art class. I am a little hesitant to add too many physical ones this year just because I don't know exactly how my recovery will go and I want to make sure I can accomplish them. So I'm still adding a few because I am hopeful, but I don't want to add too many. I also want to tap more into my spiritual side and artistic side this year, so I'm going to be adding some of those things as well. Once I'm finished my actual bingo card and done decorating it, I will post it on my Instagram for you to see. I am quite busy over the next few weeks leading up to Christmas, but I'd like to get it done before the new year. If anyone has any suggestions or ideas for me for my 2025 bingo card, let me know. I would love to hear it, and I'm always open to suggestions. I would also love to hear what you put on your bingo card. If you create one, post it on your story and tag me. I think these are so fun and beneficial, and I would really encourage you to try it out. Another thing I always do at the end of every year is prepare my calendar for the next year. I always get a cute planner/calendar and write all the important things for the year in right away. Birthdays, appointments I know I have, vacations, time off, etc. There's also usually a goals section for each month, and in the past, I have created monthly goals or things to focus on that month. In the planner I got for 2025, there is a bucket list and goals section, and there are different categories. The categories are read, travel, fitness, personal growth, create/learn, spirituality, give back, eat, entertainment, finance, relationships, and other. So in each of these categories, I wrote a couple goals I have. I feel like this journal really was meant for me because I am so passionate about all those things. So this is another thing you could do to help plan out your 2025 year. So that is it for today's episode. It would mean so much to me if you would rate and review this podcast and share it with someone you think would benefit from it. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on Instagram at growthroughit.pod. Thank you so much for listening, and remember that you are worthy. See you next time.